You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Hey, welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate you guys coming by today. We had an amazing show with some amazing guests. I think you're going to be really excited. We have Kevin Sorbo on the show. He's going to be talking about a new project called Loaded Deck and a few other people from Hollywood. And also, we're going to be talking a little bit of crypto and how this project gets funded and movies, Hollywood, all that good stuff. What more could you ask for on the Chris Voss Show? In the meantime, be sure for the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Remember, the Chris Voss Show is the family that loves you but doesn't judge you, at least not as harsh as your mom does. Now go clean your room, damn it. Anyway, guys, go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, hit the bell notification button. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. See everything we're reading or reviewing over there, our big major groups and everything that we do on LinkedIn. Today, we have, as I mentioned before, Kevin Sorbo on the show. He is an accomplished actor and it's done quite a few different things. You may have heard of him. I'm sure you have, of course. He has starring roles in 2 television series as Hercules in Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and as Captain Dylan Hunt in Andromeda. He's also known for acting in the Christian drama films God's Not Dead and Let There Be Light. He's got a ton. I looked up his IMDb. He's got a ton of projects going on right now. We also have from Hollywood, Jared Vineyard on the show with us. He's a writer and producer and director who creates for both film and stage. We're going to be talking to him about his project. And then we also have, last but not least, Ben on the show. Let me get his last name correctly pulled up here on a different screen. Ben Rachmanov on the show. Did I get that right, Ben?
You're good.
There you go. All right. Sounds good. So we've got a full slate on the show today. In fact, I should just leave. I mean, normally we don't do 4 people. So I don't need to be here. I'll let you guys just do it. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So let's lead off with Kevin. Kevin, welcome to the show. So talk to us about what's going on with you lately. The new movie Loaded Deck that we're going to be talking about today.
Well, we're trying to fund it right now. It's a great movie. It's sort of in that Pulp Fiction world. It's just a really fun script, great characters in it, and we're doing what everybody else is trying to do and trying to raise money to get out movies that are fun and entertaining. And that's just sort of the nonstop bop. I have my own production company, so I know what it's like to try to raise money out there. But I have been busy. I got 3 movies coming out that are done. Be out in January and February. 2 of them I directed, and I shot those about a year ago in that area. And then this year I've already shot 4 movies. I just got back from Sicily. I just did a Game of Thrones type movie where I got to play a bad guy. I get to kill my cousin so I can take over the throne. So it was interesting and a lot of fun, but staying busy. And it's just what I love to do. Still love this business. Still love to be making movies.
There you go. Let's do a quick round of .coms and plugs real quick for people. Should we go around and everybody do their .com?
I'll jump in since I just finished. SorboStudios.com is a great place to go. SorboStudios.com. And I'm gonna throw out a trip. My wife and I are hosting our 2nd trip to Israel. So go to SorboIsraelTrip.com. SorboIsraelTrip.com. We're going to be going in May of 2023. It's a bucket list trip for those people who want to travel back to the Holy Land and sort of follow in the footsteps of Jesus and the things that he did and saw during that time period. I think people will find it pretty interesting.
Awesome sauce. Jeremy or Jared?
Yeah, well, for me, I'd say go check out loadeddeckmovie.com. So that's the site's going to have all the updates and what's going on with this film and stuff we're talking about today. And it's a top one that I'd say go check out.
And Ben of the magnificent, I was trying to say that, right? I've loved it. Ben of the magnificent beard. And then clearly I can't say that, but welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's iShook.com, and that's our social media platform, iShook.com. It works as Twitter. Our goal was to create a combination between content media and social media where there's a synergy between the 2 types of digital assets. And iShook.io, which expresses our whole blockchain technology and what we do as a company. And those are the two sites that you can really learn about us more.
There you go. I think you should change your name to that on LinkedIn. Ben of the Magnificent Beard. See, I finally got that. I finally nailed that. It took me a second.
Yeah, but then I got to explain to everybody why I got the beard.
You need to have like a voiceover that goes behind you. Ben of the Magnificent Beard. Is that what that is? So guys, let's talk about this project, and I'll just toss this out to anyone who wants to jump in. What made you want to get involved in this project?
Well, I guess Kevin should go first on that.
Well, I just love the character. I just love I love the characters in it. I kind of mentioned that real quick already, but I mean, they wrote a great script. It's a lot of fun. Just great energy, great action. And these are the kind of movies I enjoy doing. So I jumped on board the minute Jared sent me the script. I fell in love with it and said, okay, let's do this thing. So that's, really for anything that I get sent my way, I give it 20 pages. And this one I read through the whole way through right away. Usually 20 pages in, I had to make a decision right then and there. But this one kept my attention. So it was good.
And you guys have billed it as think Reservoir Dogs meets Sleepless in Seattle. Like, does Meg Ryan get shot in this? No, I'm kidding. In a twisting ride that audiences will love. What's the genre, I guess, overall of the story?
Yeah, so it's basically an action comedy. So you've got the romantic comedy elements going on that are all kind of turned on their heads across the course of this movie. It's it's a lot like a crime film, like a Reservoir Dogs sort of thing, like you get from from Quentin Tarantino, just with a guy who should be in a romantic comedy as the lead.
There you go. The Reservoir Dogs with a romantic lead in it. And then what role does Kevin play? What's the name of his character and stuff?
Well, his character is Aces. Do you want to talk about your character a little bit, Kevin?
No, I think you should. You're the writer. Like, let them. You got better details on every one of the characters more than I do. I like my name right off the bat, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Yeah. So he's a sharpshooter, basically the best in the world. He could shoot somebody between the eyes from like a mile and a quarter away. So he's got this very high skill. Basically, there's this crew of criminals that are kind of put together, and an undercover cop that's in the middle of them all. And so Kevin plays this really fun character, which I don't want to necessarily give away some of the fun elements that he gets to do with it, but
I felt like it's sort of like in Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid, Robert Redford's character in Sundance Kid. I like the line, I'm better when I move. So I kind of like the fact this guy, give him the action and let it move, and he'll hit whatever he needs to hit.
Yeah. He's a big action guy. It's rather than left his gun to his talking sometimes.
There you go. And I've got somebody jamming in the show. There's Kevin Sorbo is our Easy Way Lifetime Achievement Award honoree and of the year, and one of our celebrity ambassadors. I'm not sure. Was that plugged from your guys' PR thing?
No, I got a feeling they're watching us. Eric Zuli runs that, and he's a hardworking guy, man. I love that because I'm the same sort of vein as he is in terms of getting yourself out there and working hard in this industry, because you got to do that because no one else is going to open doors for you. You got to make those doors open up.
There you go. So in the movie, there's a love interest because you guys billed it as Sleepless in Seattle. So Meg Ryan is not probably in the film. Who'd you guys choose to be the female lead in that?
So she hasn't been cast yet. So we're still figuring out. So there's two leads that we haven't cast yet, and we're going after some names for them when we get there. Figured we'd get the money in place and then throw some money offers at some top people that'd be good.
There you go. Very Hollywood. Well, we love the Tarantino-esque sort of action films. Is there going to be a lot of shooting, blood and guts, and all that sort of good stuff?
There's a decent amount of shooting and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be quite as violent as a typical Tarantino movie, but there's definitely some people who get blown away across the course of the movie.
Well, hopefully, people are blown away by the movie. Hi, see what I did there?
Yeah, very nice.
Are there any other actors that we want to mention or plugins that we want to give for anybody that you guys have locked down yet? I'm seeing a few different things on your updates page.
Yeah, we've got quite a few in there. Quentin Aaron is in there. He was the main guy from The Blind Side. Fantastic actor. Daniel Baldwin, he's signed on to be in it. kind of this big looming villain guy in the background. There's Dean Bakar. He's signed on to be in there. He's a hilarious actor. He's in like all the South Park guys movies. He's got a really fun part. So yeah, we got a nice crew rounding out here. London DeLeon plays Kevin's wife, Ace's wife, inside the thing, and she's a good actress and model, and yeah, so we've got some really cool people that are signed in to be in.
And Daniel Baldwin will be my golf partner on our days off. We're both golf nuts. So
oh, really?
Oh, there you
we
go.
do a lot of charity golf events together.
Yeah, I mean they've been in so many movies. The whole Baldwin family. I mean, just incredible amount of acting going on there. So what is there any plots you want to tease out? Anything, any scenes or anything you want to tease out that we can entice people with? Maybe a scene that you like, Kevin, that you thought was like a great scene that really captured your interest.
You got to come see the movie, guys.
You guys shooting for a theatrical release? There's so many different releases. There's like Amazon and Netflix, and there's so many different ways that stuff gets released nowadays.
Yeah, I want to start with the theatrical and then capitalize on all the other ones too. Yeah,
that's the great thing.
Theatrical is kind of important because usually what happens is that's sort of what Amazon and Netflix and other streaming services will base their offer on. Mm-hmm. So if it does X amount of money in theaters, that will definitely make it more viable for streaming. But streaming is the way everything's going right now. I mean, I honestly don't know where theaters are going to end up 10, 15 years from now. But I hope they're around forever because I still love that movie experience as well. And I think a lot of people still do.
Yeah.
I do too. I was watching Quentin Tarantino in an interview recently. We tried to get him on the show for his new book. And I think we're still trying. And he said something really interesting that I never thought about because I was so happy to go back to theaters after COVID. Yeah. I went and saw The Godfather re-release. Oh my God. Wow. It was so magic. I never got to see the original Godfather, but he was talking about how he got to see, in Hollywood, as you guys know, you guys get those preview videos where you can get the movies before and you can watch them in a little theater or something if you want. And so he'd set up some movie that he thought he might be interested in, and he didn't like the movie. And he's like, this movie, I don't like it. But the experience of being around a bunch of other human beings and that kind of that tribal community element, hearing people laugh and breathe, and that's part of the whole experience of going to the theater.
Yep. Yeah. No question.
Yeah. And he said it made all the difference.
When they thought television came around back, 70 years ago, they're all worried that, oh my gosh, no one's going to watch movies anymore. They were completely wrong because people still love that and still want to do it. And I think people are coming out of their caves finally. I think they're starting to realize this weapon of fear government loves to use over our lives. I think people are sick and tired of it at this point, and they want to get back out there and live lives again. And I'm seeing that everywhere right now. So it's just good.
I've been sitting around looking for movies to go to the theater. I'm kind of there's only certain movies I like that have to be really well done. But God, going and seeing The Godfather, and I've seen a couple other movies recently that just that whole theater experience. Plus, I miss eating all that popcorn and getting sick off the candy popcorn. That's kind of the whole thing, really. The whole diabetic sort of overload. You get to that food coma where you're like in there. So this is going to be exciting. What's the release date? Are you guys pushing for or start filming for?
Well, we won't know that until we get to the budget all in place and we get shooting and everything. So,
right.
There you go.
Well, I think the goal is obviously we would love to start filming in the next 4 to 5 months for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes down to finding that getting the rest of that money in there and getting it rolling because the script sells itself. It's just a matter of now just getting funded. It's when you get in the independent film world, it's always a little tougher. I mean, if I try to raise like $3 million for one of my movies, that's like catering budget in Pirates of the Caribbean. They do $300 million movies, and that's the battle we got. That there's a lot of really good independent filmmakers out there, and like Jared is, and it's just a matter of getting the timing at the right place, and we're ready to go. I mean, we're definitely ready to go. It's just got to get that funding in place.
There you go. Is it gotten easier to fund movies with Amazon and Netflix and all these players being in the business now?
I don't think so.
Wow. It's still pretty hard. Well, I've lived in LA, and everyone's got a screenplay.
Where do you live?
I live in Las Vegas now.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I have a home in Henderson. My mom lives in it, but I've had a home there
yeah.
since 1994. That was
God, this town's grown.
that was my Monte Carlo tax dodge when I got Hercules, because even though I was shooting in New Zealand 10 months out of the year, California, wanted to still charge me state tax. And I said, screw that. I'm not even here. So that became my tax dodge. But then my parents took over the place. So, but I'll be out there Christmas. So maybe I'll see you on Christmas time.
Yeah, man. It's, I used to go to LA and I would be the only guy who didn't have a screenplay. I go to like parties and stuff, and people be, hey, you want to see my screenplay? And I'm like, I'm just some dude, right? And everyone would have one. I'd just be like, I started walking around making up screenplays, and I'm like, I've got the screenplay where we take Harrison Ford and I don't know, Meg Ryan, and I would just make up a combobulation that would make no sense, and people would look at me like, yeah, that's going nowhere, buddy, and I'm like, yeah, I just made it up. so Kevin, you've been an actor for how long? I mean, you've been in so many movies I can see on the IMDb.
I'm been in business 40 years. I like to say I was 2 years old when I started, but it's not the case.
We all tried.
I've been lucky to stay busy. I mean, it's just I live in Florida. I got the heck out of California 4 years ago. Was going to do it many years ago, but we finally did it. It's been a great move for me. But I would say 80% of the movies I've shot, they're in Texas or further east. Nothing shoots in California, really. It just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, unless you're a sitcom, but most of the stuff takes place. Georgia's #1 to film in the country right now. Then I got Vancouver and Toronto, which are packed up there. And I shot in Montana this year. I shot in Mississippi, and I shot in West Virginia. Yeah. So nothing shoots in California.
It's getting spread out. It's pretty cool that way.
Yeah, there's bigger tax credits elsewhere, and better locations, and you don't got to deal with California. I mean, it's enough with the traffic and the taxes and the craziness of that state. So I prefer shooting in other states. I find the crews and the environment much more easy to deal with.
That's what drove me out of California, the traffic. So how do you find, after doing this for 40 years, since you were 2, how do you find the ability to dig in and keep it fresh as an actor and really, bring that whole newness to a role?
Well, I'm still passionate about the business. I have my love for being on a set with the creative chaos, organized chaos that being on a movie set is like. I still love it. I love working with people that love, we're in one of the few businesses, I think, in life that doesn't matter what side of the cam you're on, people want to be in this business. Mm-hmm. They don't just say, I accidentally fell into acting. I wasn't going to, that's BS. You wanted to act. Well, I didn't want to direct. Yeah, you did. You wanted to be a director. So I just think that, you get on these sets and you get to work with all these wonderful people from, hair, makeup, wardrobe, visual effects, camera, direct, whatever. These are all very creative people. And I love the whole process of that. So I haven't lost my thrill for it. I still get excited doing it. And it hasn't slowed down for me at all. And I admire a guy like Clint Eastwood. I've known Clint for, 25 years now. I've golfed with him, and here he is, 92 years old, and he's still thinking about doing another movie. So I love what he does. I always remind directors, just saying, Jared, these guys want to shoot these 14, 16-hour days. I always whisper to them, I go, Clint shoots 8-hour days and makes Academy Award-winning movies. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Days in control.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, he's got his crew. He knows, boom. They all know you get out there and you go and you're professionals on both sides of the camera. You can get these days done. But I understand 11, 12-hour days very easily, but when they get the 16 hours, I'm going, a waste of time on the set. And I'm not. I'm like a first AD assistant where I'm always on the set going, what are we waiting for? What's going on? Let's shoot this thing. Come on.
There you go. So you've got is that the Hercules sword, I imagine, from the movie?
That was given me by my props department the very last day after 7 years, the very last day of filming, which was an emotional day for me because you're on a show that long and you're working your 12-hour days for 7 years, and it becomes family, and they made that for me because they all went on to work on Lord of the Rings when we finished filming. And it says, Kevin Sorbo's got the years on there, 1993 to 2000 on there. It says, the journey's over, but the legend lives on, is what they put on this inscription there. So.
See, what you need to do when you go on those sets that have those 16-hour days, you just pull that sword out and just kind of lightly start swinging it around.
It's a heavy bugger, I got to tell you.
We need to get some people working here. Put these times down. All right. Well, let's get to Ben. Ben of the Magnificent Beard. Ben of the Magnificent Beard. So let's talk about iShook.com and why you guys got involved in this project too.
Well, obviously, you can tell how Mr. Sorbo and Jared are speaking. I mean, I look to them for this industry and what they know, and that's why I'm banking on them as much as I can. And the reality is that we're trying to get and create funding for movies and independent films through cryptocurrency as an NFT. And I know with the FTX crash, people have to make a distinction between crypto as a utility as opposed to crypto as a currency. So that's where people are losing the game. And also the crash is also inflated because it's not per se 15 billion. It's what's the futures of the cryptocurrencies that were lost. The reality, we don't know how much was lost. It's much less than that, most likely. But in general, the cryptocurrency industry is working huge. Instagram, Facebook, they're all using Polygon Matic as their go-to NFT token. So what we're trying to do is create, and we're starting this with the first product in order to create a following so we can have enough data to show the global community. And that's the big point, by the way. The reason why I thought about going to the NFT project and making this movie an NFT project, because it becomes a global community. You can reach funds so much quicker with a cryptocurrency, I mean a utility token, as opposed to going to those, people who might not even want your movie coming out. So we're figured, okay, let's get the NFT out there. Let's create some sort of NFT, but we can't just go straight to a movie NFT. That's a little bit complicated. There's a lot of PR involved to that. So I went to Jared, and Jared spoke to Kevin, and we said, let's create a comic where we're doing background stories of the individuals. Let's create a NFT for that comic, not the general comic. Yeah. So what the problem is with NFTs, and this is why the NFTs have crashed, where people would buy NFTs of art for $600,000. Are you like, people have to really think about it. Kevin talks about the sword. Imagine that sword was just on a digital space. No one would want to buy it. I mean, they can't take it. So what we're creating is, and that's where we launched our other web app called Megatolia. It's in beta stage right now. Megatolia.com, which is short for Image Tolia. So there used to be a company that was bought by Adobe.com called Fotolia.com. It was a stock image platform, and they bought it for about $900 million. So we said, let's do tangibility and practicality with NFT. So what's the practicality? Where we're creating a database of people's stock images they can sell for actual dollar and cents. Then what we're saying is, now let's create a tangibility with NFTs, where we can create a comic book that will potentially, if a person like Kevin can sign, and now we have a certain set of this comic, and now we can sell that NFT for a certain amount of number with the comic. So you get the NFT, you get it registered, and now you have that comic that will be sent to you to your home. So it's a practical and tangible NFT. And we're taking basically the concept of ISBNs in books. Without an ISBN, you cannot own a book. I mean, you cannot publish a book, you cannot print the book. Well, you can print it, but you're not going to be able to sell it. You need an ISBN on it. So we're saying, let's create an ISBN model for images, for comic books that are collector's items, and for movies itself. And that ISBN will create a registration that this is the original legitimate movie out there, or the legitimate comic that's out there. So if a person has a comic, says, oh, this comic is worth $10,000 because Mr. Sorbo signed it. Whoa, that's a fake, because we have a list of all the ISBN numbers, of the blockchain numbers that are associated with the comics that we bought, that we created with the original signature. So we just create a real tangibility to the NFT. This market is a global market. I mean, we can literally collect movies and fund movies in this fashion from today to tomorrow. We're doing this as the first time. So hopefully this will be the first and most successful of what we're doing.
Awesome sauce. Now you sent me some pieces of artwork. I was trying to find them here on my LinkedIn. Is that some of the artwork that you're going to be using for the NFT?
Well, Jared knows better. That's the comic page, I guess.
The comic book, right?
Yeah. So there should be the big picture there is like the main picture on the first page. So it'll have some narration stuff added to it, and some probably the credit lines would appear on that page and stuff as well. But yeah, I think he might have sent over some of the concept art too of the characters or something like that. But yeah, it's really coming along nicely. Our artist Rael is super talented, doing a great job with creating these images and stuff for us after I've written out the book and the story for him and everything. And so, what the pages should have on them, and he's just going and cranking them out right now.
The artwork looks really cool. How soon do you plan on issuing all that stuff?
Should be December, something like that, when he finishes the art. So hopefully
before the holidays, the Christmas and Hanukkah holidays. Maybe people can buy a few NFT versions of the comic before the holidays and gift it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's always a good giveaway. My brain just broke. You were saying December, and I'm like, God, that seems like a long time away. And I'm like, no, it's not. Holy crap! Wow.
It's like 2 weeks away. It's December already.
We've got interviews with authors that are publishing in 2023, and it's been the hardest thing. Like since October, we've got like stuff in the can that we can't publish till 2023, and I'm just like, my God, don't drag me into 2023. So, what made you excited about this, Kevin, with NFTs and getting in this whole crypto thing? Have you gotten into this before? And
I am still so ignorant of understanding it, so I leave it to these guys to do it. I don't get the NFT. I've been approached by other people with the NFT thing. I look at it and I go, I don't get it. How people make money on this? It's weird to me. It's like beyond a foreign language. So I put my trust in what they're doing, and the Bitcoin thing too. I wish someone would have told me to put money into it 15 years ago, because I would have done quite well. But because I know a couple of people who did quite well. But I still a learning process for me. Trust me.
Yeah, it's crazy. We should NFT your beard, Benny. We should. I was commenting before you guys came on. I was like, he's got like the whole Orson Welles beard sort of thing going on there. I tried to grow one of those one time.
If Jack Dorsey can get a beard, I can get a beard.
There you go. Well, just drink that zucchini water, whatever crap he drinks. I don't know.
That's not
that guy. At least they came up with somebody new to run Twitter into the ground.
Right.
There's that whole thing. So what have we touched on? Go ahead.
An alternate Twitter. iShook.com is alternate for Twitter. We've been developing this company since 2013. Our main by the way, our main industry was the book industry. We've been in all the book shows, and we have our own ebook app. We have spent $1.5 million already in the company. And again, content is. Listen, I'm going to say it straight up. When I was a kid growing up, I watched Hercules. That was my favorite show. Everybody's favorite show was Hercules, So, and the reality is that itself got me interested in the content and the movie industry, because you saw how genuine, and I think Mr. Sorbo's genuinity in acting was there. He was a good role model for many, many people in general. And I think that's what really caught me in this project. By the way we met, me and Jared last year about this time, we presented in Connectpreneur. I'm gonna have to plug them in. Connectpreneur was for a what's it called? For a pitch that we had to do for 3 minutes to big investors. And I said, wow, I told my partner, look at this. Jared has got this beautiful project. I'm like, let me talk to him. Let's see if we can get this part with iShook. And listen, it's been a year's working on it. And the market wasn't so good, because the market did dip when it came to cryptocurrency. But now the market is going higher in the sense, because people are not understanding huge amounts of money is being funneled into blockchain technology. And blockchain, put aside from cryptocurrency, is the biggest thing that's going to be for tomorrow, where you have a public ledger of transactions. No one has that. No, you go to the bank, and by the way, that's where the enticement comes with cryptocurrencies, where regular people can now have access to money where bankers would need to have those accesses. So this is what this is where the enticement comes with cryptocurrency. But forget cryptocurrency in general. Cryptocurrency and blockchain technology will be the future, because the gaming industry has proven it to be the future. The only difference is, in the gaming industry, when you're buying in-app purchases from any video game, from Sony PlayStation to your iPhone to your Google Play account, it's consumable. But what blockchain technology will create is that these in-app purchases that are consumable will now be able to be transferred from friend to friend, or from user to user, owner to owner, and you'll have those public transactions available. And I think that will be the game changer for the moving industry. And that's where my dream comes into that point, that we can actually get this first movie to be the template for future movies, future fundraisings in general. And that's why I see it.
That's going to be awesome. Did we get all the plugs in for iShook, where what you guys do, your app and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot, but it's iShook.io, Megatolia. it's there. It's a few. We have a bunch of apps that support specific genres of content creation.
There you go.
But definitely, I think the comic will be bigger, by the way, than actual movies, because what Kevin has done right now, and I think it's big. And I spoke to this with my partners and a few of my peers. What he has done with helping us doing this comic is now we're not going to just recruit actors and actresses to movies. We can recruit them to comics now, and they can get paid in comics in big funds. And then you can create a following for a movie prior to the movie's production. And then you're guaranteed that you're going to have those 100,000, 200,000 viewers for that movie. They're going to come to that movie for that. By the way, this is how Netflix and Amazon makes their money. They have direct access to books, especially Amazon. They have direct access to books that are being sold, both in graphic novels and both in comics and in books itself. And they know the data. They know if a book was read or bought 200,000 times, 1 million times, 2 million times. They got that data, and they can go approach that guy and say, we're going to make a movie out of it tomorrow. And guess what? They have the data how to make it funded. So we want that data for the independent film industry.
Yeah, we've had comic book authors on the show, and it's just amazing, that industry. It seems like it's like one of those things that I grew up with as a kid, where we collected comic books and stuff. We used to have like a treasure store of them in the woods somewhere, or in our treehouse. And they're still like, I thought, well, those probably will go away, like with records and stuff. And of course, neither went away. So it's just amazing how popular those are nowadays.
Definitely.
Awesome.
That's the whole process. That's the whole subject of X-Men and all these Marvel comics and DC comics. They're successful because they have a following for 70 years until they started making movies.
Yeah, and people love consuming the content in that form too. There's a tactile sort of experience with it, and I still like grabbing a newspaper every now and then and looking at it. Although I end up with ink on my hands. So, anything we want to touch on or tease out before we go out, guys?
I'm good. I think we covered some good stuff. Is there anything we need to shout out to the crowd out there, gentlemen, to have them come on down and see if they want to be part of the project?
Yeah, definitely. So they should be going on megatolia.com. That's where we're going to do the fundraising for Loaded Deck. That's where we're also going to be able to sell the NFT comic, the collector's edition. The comic itself will be available in all ebook platforms, and obviously all platforms like Amazon or hopefully Barnes and Nobles and other places. But that's basically it. I mean, that's what we have available now. And we have a beautiful direct also domain name called megamoviesnft.com. So that's going to be the main domain name for the Loaded Deck and any future movies fundraising.
There you go. Let's go around the room and get everybody's.com. We'll want to plug Loaded Deck down here. I see that you can subscribe at loadeddeck.com and get the newsletter so you can keep up on the movies publishing and release.
Yeah, loadeddeckmovie.com. Yeah, check it out. Get on there, and you can contact us directly too if you're an investor out there wants to get into the movies. This is a great place to do it.
Another good place is sorbostudios.com. It's another good place to go, sorbostudios.com. And let's not forget this guy, okay?
Is it hard to stay in shape still?
Still in 60 countries, guys. We were the most watched show in the world by season 3 in 176 countries. And I got to brag about that. I know it's the sin of pride, but how many actors can say that? So it's kind of cool to be part of that show. And it's interesting. I get stopped more now for the movies I've been doing more than I do from Hercules or Andromeda. I mean, they're still out there, but a lot of people are loving the movies I've been putting out there. So they stop me in airports, hotel lobbies. Hey, keep making movies. We enjoy following your career. So it's been a fun transition.
That's awesome. You ever thought about redoing that, or is it been?
I'd be too old for that role now, man. I was 230 back then. I'm 210 now, but it's a different 210. I still work out every day, but I would come back as Zeus. They could grade me up a little bit, and I'd play Zeus. There's plenty. There's the next 30-year-old ripped up dude out there. I'm sure that would love that role, and I think they should redo it. Why not? I mean, they redo everything else, right? And still finished back in 2000. So yeah, it's probably due for a reboot.
You do the whole handoff thing like they did with Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Star
Well,
Wars.
we did 5 2-hour movies to start the series, and I got to work a whole year with Anthony Quinn. That was pretty cool to work with a guy that's 6-time Academy Award nominator, 2-time winner, and every Saturday we had dinner together for a year, and we became very good friends until he passed away. So that was, for me, that was a really big honor being part of that beginning of that series.
Well, we've teased it out, so somebody write that damn script and get that thing going there. Maybe that could be the next NFT project. I would go see that. That would be awesome.
I'm game.
There you go. And there might be a couple ladies that might want to go see that too. You have quite the female following there.
I think we had a bigger female population than male on that show.
Well, good. It's good to have the fan base. Do you have a .com you want to throw out there, Jared?
No, just do the Loaded Deck one. I mean, you can find me on LinkedIn and different places like that too if you want. But that's the main one I'm pushing right now.
They can follow me on Twitter. Facebook and LinkedIn actually took me down for posting things that were truthful about
really?
COVID. Oh yeah, I was posting misinformation. But today, of course, one of my Twitters was, anybody have any more conspiracy theories, because mine keep coming true. So there you go.
That's funny. Have you guys gotten on that TikTok? That TikTok is hotter than
my son does it. He does a joke today. He's got over 2 million followers. He puts me in about 20% of them, but I get stopped all the time by people saying, "Love your son's TikTok," and I'm going, "Hey, he's 2 million followers he's got."
We're starting to put the Chris Voss Show up there, and I've referred a few friends that have gone over there and just killed it. Yeah. I mean, you should be on there, Kevin, just doing whatever.
Well, maybe my son with 2 million followers, we got to roll for him in Jared's movie, because he's got a lot of followers. So
I would suggest
more people advertise to is a good idea.
Right. I would suggest a dedicated phone for a TikTok. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, that TikTok, man. Yeah, I mean, I spend hours on the damn thing.
TikTok, because TikTok, they check your keystrokes, so they data mine your keystrokes. So just get a separate phone just for TikTok, and then you'll be good.
I gave up privacy a long time ago, but yeah, that TikTok is crazy, man. I'll spend hours on that thing. There's sometimes I'll be sitting there swiping at midnight, and it's 5 a.m. the sun's up, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. Yeah, so that tells you how powerful that is. Anyway, guys, and it's great for like comic book and movie stuff. It's great. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming by the show. We really appreciate you guys coming by.
Thank you for having us.
Real honor to have you guys. And get an NFT on that magnificent beard, Benny. There you go.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, guys.
All the best.
Thanks for tuning in.
Week as well.
There you go. Thanks so much for being here. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, all the places you see us on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.